Hello there folks, and how is it going? And welcome back to another video. Now, never in a million years when I started this YouTube channel did I ever envision myself making a video about socks. But here we are. And the socks that I have to show you today, folks, they're wonderful. They're like, it's the kind of thing that after you buy, you start to think to yourself, how did I not get these any sooner? Because they are wonderful. These are the OTEX HydroTred Waterproof Socks, and they are fantastic. Now, if you have been following the channel for any amount of time, you will have seen me taking my shoes and socks off many times to have a dunder into an old stream or a river, to set up the tripod or to get nice and low, all of that kind of fun stuff. But these essentially eliminate needing to do that. And you can hike in these and walk in these. I walked all the way down to the river here and they are bananas comfortable. Many walks in them. Wonderful things. And like I mentioned, they essentially just eliminate the need for you to take off your shoes and socks, because that's a pain in the ass. And they're just fantastic. You know, when you do step into some water, if you decide to leave your shoes and socks on, and there's nothing worse, or even if you're on a trail, for instance, and you go into a puddle and you think, oh God, that's me done for the day now. It can be a real pain in the ass. But like I say, having these lads on your feet, you know, your shoes and your boots or whatever you're wearing can get wet for days, but your tootsie little rolls will stay nice and dry, and that is paramount to continuing the walk or the hike that you're on to your photographic destination, and for your general comfort, because there's nothing worse than wet toes or wet socks. Some of the key features for these particular socks here is that they have a 3-layered protection system. The outer layer is like a durable kind of material, which is wonderful. Everybody loves durability, especially when you're looking to slip on your boots or your shoes. If you if you go out on a trail, for instance, if you have trail running shoes, for instance, you can rest assured that you won't get any of that kind of wear and tear that you would if you were like slipping on your your shoes, your walking shoes, your boots. The waterproof membrane is the next layer down, which pretty much is as self-explanatory gets. So that's what keeps your toes and your feet nice and dry. And then the inner layer is a wonderfully soft material that it's just lovely and soft. And who doesn't like their dry toes being surrounded by lovely softness? Particularly, like I say, if you're out walking. So these socks are multifunctional in a sense that you wouldn't change into them when you arrive at your photography destination. You would basically take these lads from wherever you're staying out under your shoes and hike with them on, and that's what's wonderful. The lightweight durability of them is another kind of key feature that they have going for them, and that is, you know, in a sense, sometimes hiking socks can be quite heavy, not in a kind of physical sense, but they because of the thickness, they want to keep your feet nice and warm, which is great. But if they get wet, oh wow, it's like sandbags on your feet. But these lads are super duper lightweight and durable in that sense that you don't really feel like you're wearing them, because they're nice and soft. So another key feature that these wonderful socks have is like an odor kind of technology. Now, I personally don't have smelly feet. Do I?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I have smelly feet, folks. But these lads have proven time and time again not to be smelly. Now, as I mentioned, I love getting in and out of water, and I have been using these to get in and out of water, and they themselves, they don't kind of hold on. So, you know, like some rivers you might get into can be a bit muddy or a bit grimy, and these rinse off super duper well, and they really don't hold on to any of that kind of like river water. And that's another thing that I found wonderful, is just the rinsing off of them. Super duper easy to kind of rinse off and get that kind of muck or grime off. Has been a real treat, and has just made the whole experience of using them wonderful. So if you're in Ireland in particular, there's lots of bog, as many of you probably know. But you know, sometimes your feet can just disappear down holes, and they're known as bog holes. And some of them might be dry, and you might get unlucky, and some of them your foot just plunges into complete dark wetness. And but having these lads on, you'd feel good and safe if you can get your foot out, of course, and your shoe doesn't come off. You can be rest assured that your foot will stay nice and secure and dry in these guys. So overall, really, I mean, look, this is a video about socks. I won't keep it. I won't keep rambling on too much about them. But realistically, the waterproofness of them and just the fact that they kind of come all the way up to your knee, it's like a pair of wellies, except they're socks. And that's what's so great about them, because wellies can sometimes be very cumbersome. And I've often found that with wellies, if you just by accident go, over the line, your welly then just gets full with water, and that's your socks are knackered then. But with these, because they go all the way up to your knees, you're essentially wearing your regular super duper comfortable hiking boots or whatever you're wearing, or in my case Crocs when we were down at the river here. And the fact that they really, really contour and hug to your leg basically means that you can kind of trundle in and out of as much water as you feel like you kind of need to in order to position yourself to get the kind of shot that you're after. So absolutely smashing. And just in general, and hold on, just before I continue, the logo being on them is so wonderful, and I love the orange and blue that they got going on down here on the feet too. But just in general, even then putting them on and off, as simple as a thing as that is socks, they're super duper easy, as proven by the wonderful B-roll that you're looking at right now. But they are wonderful things just to be able to take on and off as well. So overall, I'm going to stop rambling here now, folks. I would absolutely highly recommend these without question. Whatever about the beanie, I love beanies. You all know that, as we seen from yesterday's video. But I think in terms of the kind of essential photography gear that's non-camera related, or lenses or tripods or anything like that, you might well consider a product like this, because like I say, when you start using them, you're like, why the hell didn't I buy these weeks or months ago? They're wonderful, really, really fantastic things. And you will find a link down below. And again, like the previous videos, it's not an affiliate link or anything along those lines. It's just a link to the website. And I would be delighted to hear if anybody gets a pair of these. So do send me pictures if you do find them on your feet, because they are really, really wonderful. So anyways, I am going to leave you here, folks. That was my triple hitter review of the OTEX gear. And again, wonderful shout out to Mark, who is an absolute gem of a man. And I really, really do appreciate the chats that we've had over email, and of course then for sending me out this gear. Has been a wonderful, wonderful treat to use. And I think that's really about it, folks. So if you do like the video, or the videos that you would have just seen, do please hit that like button. And of course, if you fancy following along for any more adventures that we find ourselves on, which we might be doing very, very shortly, you're most welcome to hit that subscribe button. And for now, until I see you all on the next one, take it easy, everybody. Cheers.